Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to begin our service on page 10 with Yedid Nefesh. Welcome. It's a beautiful thing to have all of you here tonight with us.
Yedid Nefesh Avarachamam Mishor Sonach Yerutz Avdach Kilo Ayal Yishtachaveh Uladara Ki Yerav Lo Yedidutach Mino Vetzu
Page 11, Lechu Neranena.
Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Lechu Neranena, Adonai. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Lechu Neranena, Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu. Lekala fana b'toda, Naria, Naria, letzuri shenu, Bizmiro Naria lo, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu Lechu neranena, Adonai, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu Lechu neranena, Adonai, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu Lechu neranena, Adonai, Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, Lechu Lechu neranena, Adonai. Naria, Naria, letzuri shenu, Rikama fana b'toda. Naria, Naria, letzuri shenu, Bizmiro Naria lo.
Bottom of page 12.
Arba'im shana kut bedor, va'omaram tohe levavhem, vehem leidu derachai, asher nishbati ve'api, im yevon el menuvati.
Page 13.
Nine 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 לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בזו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומעולם מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים, איי איי איי, כי כל אלוהי העמים אלילים, ואדוני שמיים עשה, עובד הדר לפניו, עוז לתפארת במקדשו, הבו לאדוני משפחות העמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, איי איי השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש, הנו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בל תימוד, ידי נמים בני נשרים, די 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 די
We continue together at the bottom of page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, umelo. Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, umelo. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, umelo. Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, umelo.
Page 20.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu.
Continue on page 21. If you're able to do so, please rise for Mizmor LeDavid.
ישדה אדוני אל ארצי לבנון ויקדם כמו עקב לבנון וציון כמו בן רמים כמו בן רמים איי 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 כל אדוני הותן אבודש כל אדוני יחים מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני יגול היעלות ויחסות יערות ובחלו כולו אומר כבוד איי 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 אדוני למה בו ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום ניי 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 ניי
Let us please be seated. We continue with Ana Bechoach, page 22.
Ana Bechoach, Bechoach, Gedulat Yemincha, Yemincha, Tatit Serura, Kaverinatamcha, Sagbenu, Tarenu Nora. Ana Bechoach, Bechoach, Gedula Yemincha, Yemincha, Tatit Serura, Kaverinatamcha, Sagbenu, Tarenu Nora. Ana Bechoach, Gedula Yemincha, Tatit Serura, Tatit Serura, Kaberinatamcha, Rinatamcha, Sagbenu Tarenu Nora. Nagibor Dorshe Yehudha, Kevavat Shomrem, Taharem, Rachamem Sitkatecha Tamid Golem. Ana Bechoach, Gedula Yemincha, Tatit Serura, Tatit Serura, Kaberinatamcha, Rinatamcha, Sagbenu Tarenu Nora. Nay 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 nay
We turn to page 23 as we prepare to greet the Shabbos bride, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi, lecha lecha kala, B'nei panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, lecha kala, B'nei panei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la, lecha dodi, lecha kala, B'nei B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor V'Zachor B'Dibur Echad Hishmi'anu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad L'Shemo Tifaret V'Litchila B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Mikrat Shabbat Lechu V'Nilcha Ki Mekor HaBracha Mirosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh B'Machshava Techila B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Mikdash Melech Ir Melucha Kumitzei Mitoch Hafecha Rav Lashevet Be'emek HaBecha Bechu Yachamol Alaykem La B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Hitna Arim Me'afar Kumi Livshi Bigdei Tifartechami Aliyah Ben Yishai Behalachmi Karva El Nafshi Gehala B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Panei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Kiva Orek, Kuni Ori, Uri, Uri, Shidaberi, Kevod Adonai Alai, Likra B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi, Likra Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela, Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likra Likra Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Lo tevoshi v'lo tikami Ma tishtochachi u'ma techemi Ba'gechesu ani ami V'nivneta li'irati la B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela V'rayu l'shimsa shosai V'rachaku kol mevalai Yasi salai Elohai Kimchos chatan al kala La 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Yamin Usmol Tifrosi Ve'et Adonai Tariti Ayarish Ben Patsi Ve'nitmecha V'nagi La 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Boi v'shalom atere bala Gam besimcha uvetzola Toch emurei am segula Boi chala la 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela B'Bai 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 Lecha Dodi Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likra Likra Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela
Let us please be seated. We continue on page 27. Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat.
Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Tov lehodol Adonai, ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Lehagi baboker hazdecha, ve'emunatecha baleilot. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Alei asor va'alei na'avel, alei higayon behinor. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor shir, shir le'om HaShabbat.
Sadiq Katzamar, page 28.
Tzadik Katzamar yifrach, ke'erez b'Lebanon yizkeh sheturim le'beit Adonai le'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od v'seva v'shenim v'rananim yiyu ki yashar Adonai tzuli v'lo avlatavo.
Page 29.
Adonai malakehu lavesh, lavesh. Adonai ozit azar, atikon tevel batimon, atikon tevel batimon. Navon kisagam me'at, me'olam נעשהו נהרות אדוני, נעשהו נהרות גולם, יישאו נהרות טוב ים, מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משפעי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני.
Let us please rise for Baruch. Page 39.
Nai nai na 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 nai 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 na 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 nai nai ya na nai 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 ya na nai na 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 nai 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 na 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 nai 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 na 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 nai nai ya na nai 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 ya na nai na 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 nai ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. נאי 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 ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים.
Ahavat Olam is on page 40.
אהבת עולם בישראל, עמך עמך אהבת. אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. על כן, על כן, על כן, אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונזמר בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. כי הם ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. באהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו. אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך
בכל לבבך, בכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך.
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך.
וים שמוע תשמעו על מצוותיי אשר אני מצווה אתכם היום, ואהבה את אדוני אלוהיכם. ושמתם את דברי אליה לבריכם לנפשיכם, וקשרתם אותם להיות על ידיכם להילולות עיניכם. ביום אלה משה לאמור אבל בני ישראל דמתם ציצי למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue together on page 44. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi kamocha.
Nai 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 מלכותך ראו בניך בוקר יום לפני משה זה אלינו ואמרו זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד די די
Ashkivenu, page 45.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
do so, please rise as we sanctify Shabbat together. Vishamru is on page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות אמרית עולם. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי ועמלק מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן הקריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולם מעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה וכולי לה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Top of page 47.
Anananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tita, Ananananana Ufiyagi, Ufiyagi Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tita, Ananananana Ufiyagi Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tita, Ufiyagi Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tita, Ananananana Ufiyagi Tehilatecha, Ananananana Adonai, Ananananana Svatai Tita, Ananananana Ufiyagi Tehilatecha, Ufiyagi Tehilatecha.
We remain standing for the Amidah for Friday night, which begins on page 47.
For those of you still praying your Amidah, please continue to do so. The rest of us may be seated. Shalom Rav is on page 51.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki Ata
May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all who dwell on earth. And let us say, Amen.
Say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say Shalom, bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom
Shalem, page 54.
Yekra v'grashem me'raba ve'amad yivra kirutei ve'amalik malchutei v'chayechon v'mechon v'chayro beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'meru amen. Yehi shemei raba mevara ve'alam olam me'almaya Yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'imam v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kedusha v'rechu le'elam minko berkata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Tikabat zlot tahon v'utahon d'kol Yisrael Ko dama v'hon v'shamaya v'imru Amen. Yehi shalom arom v'shamaya v'chaim alina ve'al Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. You know, usually when we have the Ruach ensemble, we do not share a Devar Torah with the congregation. But tonight, I want to share something very special with you. And I believe it takes precedence over anything else that could be happening. Let me just tell you, it's not Whoopi Goldberg and it's not Amnesty International. I actually said to myself, do I really have to speak about anti-Semitism every week? I mean, our community is really, really taking a beating with all of this craziness going on. So, rather than speaking about anti-Semitism, I want to share with you what I think the solution is to what's happening. And by the way, it's nothing new. I've been advocating this solution for many, many years. Before I do that, there's two stories I want to share. First of all, the Torah portion of the week is tremendously insightful because the narrative seems to depart from the Exodus and the giving of the law and the giving of the Torah to the building of the community and the building of a nation of the Bnei Israel. The Torah commands us literally in a very stark way, but in a beautiful way too, to bring a contribution whatever our heart moves us to bring, Kol ish asher yitbenu libo, so that we can build the tabernacle in the wilderness. Now, you have to understand that this seems like, okay, no problem. Of course they're going to do it. But this was a nation of slaves. They were not used not only to not having any personal property, let alone parting with the things that they had. It was unheard of. Because if you were a slave and now you're free, you want to embrace prosperity. You want to keep it for yourself. And somehow God showed us this Shabbat that the only way to prosper is to share what we have. And that building a community and building the tabernacle is really the foundation of the future of the Jewish people. Because we learned right then, right there, that if we don't come together in moments of crisis or in moments of need, we stand absolutely no chance. Now, the second story. This coming month of March is going to be 24 years that I came to my interview at Temple Beth Sholom here in Las Vegas. Now, it's very easily said, but honestly, you should have seen the reaction of the people in Mexico when I told them I was going to interview in Las Vegas. They weren't scared, they weren't threatened, they were laughing at me. Right? I remember going to my board of directors in my old congregation and saying, look, I'm going to go to an interview in a synagogue in Las Vegas. They literally laughed and they said, okay, bring us back a chip from the Mirage. I brought back a lot more than that. I cannot tell you how these 24 years have really transformed me and my family. They've been incredible. More than because of what we've been able to build, because of the people that we've met and the people that have touched our lives and changed our lives, always for the better here. So when we landed in Las Vegas for the first time, and there was no direct flight to Mexico City at the time, Sandy Malin, who was the president of the synagogue, picked us up at the airport. We went to the hotel to change, and immediately we headed for Shabbat dinner to Leon and Faye Steinberg's house. And of course, we had no idea who we're going to meet. I mean, we've never met anyone from the Las Vegas Jewish community. That Shabbat dinner was so impactful in my life that I still remember what I had for dinner. I still do. There was chicken, meatballs. Remember that, Liz? And I asked Faye to share the recipe for the meatballs, and she told me, if you come, I'll share it. And of course, you have to understand that I never met people like this in my life. They were just so incredibly nice. And Faye is still one of the nicest people that I've ever met. In fact, she's like a force of nature. Everyone who's ever met her loves her. Leon was an absolute incredible compliment to that couple. And what I remember from that dinner is he was literally quizzing me. You know, he was asking me what I was going to do to bring children back, to have children running around, because children were so important to him. And he told me how his children grew up here, and he wanted his grandchildren to have the same type of experience. And I really didn't know what to answer. I said, look, we have to build something great. We have to become a community, and it will happen. And then he asked me a question, and I'm never going to forget this. He asked me if from my temple in Mexico we send kids to Camp Ramah. And I said, yes, we do. And then we started to speak about Jewish summer camp. It was an incredible moment because I really realized, I knew this, but I realized that Jews here or in South Africa or in Europe or in England, they all have the same priorities. We all should have them. In this case, Leon really had that same priority. He really cared. He really cared that children will grow up being Jewish, which is, by the way, one of the hardest things that we face as a community today. Whoopi Goldberg, Amnesty International, the guy in Dallas 2 weeks ago, that's nothing. Because if our children are not Jewish, if we don't give them Jewish experiences, the Jewish community is going to disappear on its own. We will not need our enemies to do it for us. And I'm going to tell you another story that I shouldn't tell you, but I'm going to tell you because it's a very funny story. I don't know, about 15 years ago, I got a phone call from somebody at the American Jewish University, and they wanted to recruit me to be the director of Camp Brandeis Bardin in Simi Valley. And I said, look, I'm really a pulpit rabbi. First of all, I'm very happy here. I don't want to go. And I don't like running around with barefoot college students. That's not what I do. But you know, sometimes you have to do it just to not make people feel bad and to not shut any doors on your future. And I went, and the person that picked me up at the airport in Los Angeles was Judge Wapner from the People's Court. That's how I got him to come here and do all those trials that we did. And we went to Camp Alonim, which is where Brandeis Bardin is located. And we started going around, and I saw that the dining room of the camp was dedicated by Leon and Faye Steinberg. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I better call them and tell them I'm here, because they find out and they think that I'm really going to interview for this job. This is the end of my life. So I remember when Judge Wapner dropped me at the airport. By the way, Judge Wapner had dedicated the tennis courts. You know how he called them? The people's courts. It was very funny. These are the things that stick with you. So I get to the airport, I pick up the phone, and I call Faye because I was afraid to speak to Leon about it. And I said, Faye, I want you to know I'm at Brandeis Bardin, I'm at Alonim, but I'm not coming here. I just came because I couldn't say no to them. She was very sweet and she understood. But when I came back, Leon said, don't you dare leave for Camp Alonim. You know, I give them a lot of money. You have to stay here. I said, whatever you need. Honestly, there was never a chance. This is my home. And this is my home because of people like Leon and Faye. And if you got your email from the temple today and you read it, this morning we launched an incredible, incredible thing. The Leon H. Steinberg Jewish Spirit Summer Camp Fund, which means that Leon's family, his children and Faye, are funding a fund in our congregation to help Jewish children attend summer camp. It's extremely important. I mean, we already have a little fund like that Adam Brewston established in honor of his wife. But Leon's fund is going to continue to be refunded every year, and we ourselves are going to replenish it. The idea behind the fund is that Jewish camp, as important as it is, as much as it builds community like the Torah commands us this Shabbat, it is one of the most expensive things that exists in the Jewish community, aside from the Jewish day schools. And so if we want our children to have that experience, even families that are not wanting for anything, they find it hard because it's very taxing on them. We're going to be able to use this fund to send our children to Jewish camps in the summer. And I'm tremendously grateful not only to Leon's children, but to him, because he obviously did something right. He obviously did something right in educating me in a way that in turn they came here and gave us this incredible gift, which is not only a gift, it is really the continuation of Jewish life. And that, my friends, is how you stand up to the anti-Semites. By continuing to be who we are, by not giving in, by standing up for who we are, because we live Jewish lives, because we really deep in our soul, we understand that we cannot just talk about being Jewish. We have to behave like Jews, and we have to really engage in Jewish experiences. Many of us already had them and continue to have them, but our children, they must experience them too. So in the next couple of weeks, the beginning, middle of March, we're going to send out also applications, and we're going to send out the guidelines, and it will be a special part on our website where people are going to be able to apply. And I want to tell you the most amazing thing about this scholarship is that we're not only doing it for Temple Beth Sholom, but children from throughout the community, Jewish children from other congregations, are going to be able to apply for scholarships through us too. We do that because we believe that as a congregation that has the means to do that, following the example of the Bnei Israel, we cannot just say, this is only for us. We have to share. That is who we are as Jews. And we care about other Jews, not only about ourselves. And we have to empower everyone in our community to grow up with the same experience. So to Leon and Faye and their children, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of our hearts. He was one of the only people that never made fun of my accent, Leon. And I'm really grateful to him for that. He always fell asleep when I spoke, so it really didn't make a difference. But I know that deep inside he was listening. And wherever Leon is tonight, I know that he's rejoicing, that his memory is not only being enriched, but is being magnified. Because many, many years from now, children in his name are going to be enjoying and growing and experiencing their Judaism. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. May I please ask us to rise? We continue on page 73 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Bohem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, Baruch Hu Ni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichen Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichen Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyomi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Kadosh.
All right, children, come on up. Or anybody who thinks they're a child, anybody, all's welcome.
Well, there's plenty.
Kiddush is on page 76.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pori hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav
V'ratzah banu.
v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereishit ki hu yom tehila lemigra'ei kodesh זכר לציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המוציא לחם מן הארץ. We're going to continue with Aleinu, page 56. Please remain standing. PJ, go. You You guys want some challah? Hold on, I'm cutting it, okay? Give me a second.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כיהי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please be seated. This Shabbat we remember with love the following yortzites: Robert Appelman, Sina Bernstein, Jean Kaplan, Alexander Koblenz, Andrew DeVore, Nettie Landy Feinstein, Jay Fieldman, Ralph Finkenstein, Robert Frost, Miriam Gismuth, Joseph Goldberg, Ruth Goldfarb, Nestor Goldman, Judy Gurewitz, Samuel Hirschfeld, Abe Hodis, Selma Hutner, Joseph Jaffe, Gustav Kaplan, Mariam Katzoff, Lillian Lanton, Ann Lewison, Benjamin Lipton, Ruth Lubitz, Rose Mendelssohn, Arnold Moses, Martin Ockins, Jack Sohana, Ruth Panther, Leo Raven, Gertrude Riener, Uriah Roddy, Molly Rothman, Lillian Shaken, Sarah Schklar, Evelyn Shirley Silver, Clara Stearns, Elizabeth Stoller, Harry Toporek, Harry Wiederhorn, Lana Woodward, and Leo Zenoff. We also mourn the loss of Michael Landau, brother of one of our members, Rabbi Elaine Schnee. Elaine, we send you a big embrace of comfort. We are with you, and hopefully this will be the end of sorrow for a long, long time to come. The mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 58.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום על רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to call upon Bill Mason, President of our congregation, for the announcements.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. And Rabbi Hodson, DJ, great night tonight. It's wonderful, really wonderful to see everybody out here. Maybe I've been gone too long, but this is a tremendous crowd tonight, and it's really wonderful to see. Susie, Dina, thank you very much for putting the summer camp fund together. please let everybody else know our deepest thanks and gratitude. Let's start off with the announcements. Let's see, this Sunday at 4:30, there'll be a private showing of Sing 2 at the Suncoast. This is free for USY and Kadima members with a nominal fee for non-members. Please speak to DJ if you're interested in attending. Excuse me. Friday, February 11th, our TBS community will hold a sports-themed family Shabbat service with a community dinner. All right, next Friday night. Services begin at 6. Wear your favorite team's jersey. There will also be services that evening at the regular 7:30 time. So it's a community dinner, sports-themed, and just in time for the Super Bowl. Sunday, February 13th is Worldwide Wrap. If you have wanted to learn about tefillin and how to wrap it, this event is for you. This event will be in the Steinberg Chapel at 9:30 following the morning minyan. Please join us in the large social hall tonight for Onig. And if you are a temple member, or if you know of a temple member who is in the hospital, ill at home, or in a nursing home, please contact the temple office and let us know. If you're new to Temple Beth Sholom, or if you're just here tonight and not a member and would like to know more, please see me. And again, Shabbat Shalom and welcome.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks to the Ruach Ensemble for being here this evening. I appreciate all of them. And just keep this date in your mind, March 13th. March 13th. It's a Sunday. And as you know, USY and Kadima, we have our annual Purim Carnival. This year it's going to be outside with jump houses, obstacle courses, Cirque du Soleil acts. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you don't want to miss it this year, March 13th.
So, because we're in the month of Adar already, I'll give you a little preview of what Purim is going to be like. My Spider-Man costume arrived, and I tried it on. The mask was great. The costume, not so good. It just didn't go up my waist.
It was tight,
So,
right?
so I'm trying, Rabbi Hudson was trying to help me put it on, and he was like trying to literally to carry the suit. It was one of those things. We stopped before I couldn't return it anymore. But I will persevere, and I will get a Spider-Man suit that fits me.
If you're ever bored, come here during the week and just see what happens in the clergy
Whatever
hall.
happens, I will be Spider-Man for Purim. I'm just letting you know. Okay, so superheroes. But I can do, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. I'm going to be able to, whatever. Just don't miss Purim this year. We're very hopefully, and I don't want to, we can have a normal Purim again.
Yes.
And it's going to be tremendous. Don't worry, Liz, I will not drink. The Spider-Man mask doesn't have an opening. It's okay.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Correct.
And with that being said,
We conclude with Adon Olam on page 211, followed by our blessing.
I'm sorry. Wrong Adon Olam, sorry. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol, Yetzir Lira, Ein Azar, נברא לעת נשא והפסק כל מזי מלך שמו נקרא אחרי כתלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא והפסק כל מזי מלך שמו נקרא אחרי כתלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה ותפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה והוא אחד שלי לעם שלום לאווירה ונראה שיר בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמזרח והוא אלי והגלי וצורכב לי וצרה והוא ניסי ומנוסי ונקוסי ביום אקרא בידו אבקיב רוחי והייתי שם והעירה אדוני לי ולא יירא אדון עולם השם מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא והפסק כל זי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי כתבות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובד והוא יהיה ותברך אדון עולם השם מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא והפסק כל זי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי כתבות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובד בתפארה והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה.
Let us all come together as a congregation at this time. Please, let's just stay safe. Grab people that you know. Embrace people that you know. And hopefully soon we'll stop saying that. But let us all rejoice in the light and the love and the comfort of Shabbat.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויגונך יישא
אדוני יוסלמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום, שבת שלום ומבורך.
עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם שלום, סלם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם שלום. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. סלם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם שלום, סלם עלינו ועל כל העולם, סלם שלום. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו ועל כולם. עוד יבוא שלום עלינו, עוד יבוא שלום עלינו,